okay? So we're looking at the week of December 8th to December 14th of 2025. Wow, I can't believe like this. I don't know what happened to this year, but starting out on Monday, the 8th, we have Mars making a square to Saturn. So Mars in Sagittarius and Saturn in Pisces. Hoping for a great week. Let's go. I hope so too. On Wednesday, the 10th, Neptune stations direct. Thank goodness. That's going to be very interesting energy. We'll dive into that. On the same day of the 10th, Mercury is going to oppose Uranus, which is going to feel pretty familiar because we went through a Mercury opposition to Uranus twice already, guys. Like it's been happening. So that you guys are aware of. And by that, I mean, because of the fact that we had a Mercury retrograde, so Mercury retrograded through this pathway and now is going direct over it. So it went direct, retrograded, now going direct over it again. So these are kind of like areas of life we've been really ironing out when it comes to communication. So any of these Mercury transits that we're going through this week, we felt them before, but there's more clarity here. So thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. 444 likes. Let's freaking go. I have to sneeze. Nope. Okay. On Thursday, the 11th, Mercury is going to trine Neptune, which is going to be interesting because now Neptune's direct. And then later in the day on the 11th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius. On Saturday, the 13th, Mercury is going to make a sextile to Pluto. And then on the 14th, early in the morning, Mars is going to square Neptune. And then the sun is going to trine Chiron. Lots of transits this week. Lots of transits. Thank you guys for liking the live. I appreciate it. So let's dive in. Like, let's do it. Start out with this Monday. It's weird. I've been having a lot of nausea the last couple days, which is not fun. Okay, let's jump over here and then let's jump over here for you guys. Oh, my camera is like flipped, right? Did it flip? Okay, yeah, let me. Settings. There we go. Cool. Now I'm properly where I should be. Let's make it so my little face is centered. Okay. Cool. Yay! Yippee for technology. Okay. So we're looking at the chart here. This is the 8th. We have a square happening. Guys, sometimes I'm like, how do I know astrology? Like, how do I even know what I'm talking about? You guys ever, like, doubt your ability to do stuff, even though I've been doing this for, like, over 11 years? I'm like, what am I even doing? I don't know. Hi, little kitty. Little lap cat. I don't know. I just work here. Okay, so we have Mars hanging out here at 25 degrees of Sagittarius, and we have Saturn hanging out over here at 25 degrees of Pisces. Yeah, I think I did a reading the other day, actually yesterday, for somebody talking about like genuinely knowing a subject really, really well. And then just like being like, no, we're just, yeah, no, we're literally exactly hooty hoo. We're just floating on a rock in space. It's so real. Unless the earth is flat, which that's a whole nother discussion. Yo. I'm going to take a sip on that note. Okay. Preface, I haven't really had real food today also. I don't even know if I'm real. I'm just like a part of your imagination. Okay. Ah! Oh my god. Thank Thanks for the follow, Pale Wolf. I forgot that I have that sound in place. It totally spooked me. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. That was just what I needed to shock me out of my freaking weird existential crisis I was having presently. Welcome, guys. We're just jumping into the astro forecast for the week ahead. So looking at Monday here, squares are tension. Let's be 100% honest. What are you looking at? Oh my gosh, we got a newbie. Let's go. Okay, time to get nerdy. So this is a snapshot of the sky on December 8th, 2025 at 3:31 p.m. in San Francisco. So we are basically doing the astrological forecast for the week ahead, meaning I'm going to be going through the different astrological transits, and what we're looking at is basically a diagram of the sky from the Earth's perspective. So if I were to draw the Earth in the center here, pretend that's a perfect circle because I'm a perfectionist and it is. Okay, pretend, everybody's pretending. We're here, ow! What the fuck? Well, don't cry. My cat's on my lap and he just kicked my freaking hand. Ow. So Earth is here. We have our horizon line here. The sun comes up over the horizon over here. This is daytime, and when it dips down over here, it's nighttime. And since we are in winter time, the sun is this bullseye hanging out here. So that kind of gives us some direction of what we're looking at as far as the sky goes. So we're talking about add command. No, we're not doing points. No, we're not doing the 6-7 hands. I don't even know how to do it. So just so people know that are joining me on TikTok, I'm dual streaming. So I'm live on another platform too. And somebody just redeemed a bunch of points for me to do the 6-7 hand thing. How do I do it? What's it? I'm so, guys, I guess I need to get, I'm working with teenagers again. So I need to get stuff like we're in 6-7 hands. Isn't it just like this? Is that it? Okay, cool. Okay, we did it. So I love that people are really, really interested. It's a half shrug with the hands. Yeah, it's like, okay, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. So for my new friends here, hi, I'm Izzy. I am an evolutionary astrologer and my deepest passion is teaching. And so every week I go live on Sunday and I talk about the transits that are coming up and really, really breaking down all of this. Oh, it's okay, Pale Wolf. No worries. That's why I'm here. So actually, you have one of these. This is a snapshot of the sky. Everybody has what's called a natal chart, which is a chart that's unique to you when you're born. So your zodiac sign is actually technically your sun sign, which is where the sun was when you're born. You have a moon sign, you have Venus, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. We could add in the asteroids if you want. Everybody has the same cast of characters, aka the planets. But what sets everybody apart is the different times that we're born and the different constellations, aka the costumes that these planets are wearing. So we're looking at what is presently happening. And that's where a lot of these horoscopes come from, is astrologers looking at what's presently going on in the sky and how it affects you. Now, here's this is homework for anybody who's here for the first time. And this zero judgment from my side, because I've been doing this 11 years. And so I know we all have to start somewhere with astrology. You need to find out your rising sign. The rising sign is the most important part of your natal chart. It is the constellation that comes up over the horizon when you're born, and it changes every 2 hours. And I can show you this real time by looking at the chart here. If I change this to hours, you'll see this whole thing rotate. So I'm going to use this arrow down here. As we go ahead an hour, everything rotates like a clock. Okay? And all these lines in the middle are planets having conversations with themselves. So For you to find your rising sign, you could go to astroseek.com, Astro Cafe, you could use Time Passages. There's so many different applications you can use or websites you can use to find your rising sign. And the reason I'm saying this is anytime you read a horoscope, you should be reading it from the perspective of your rising sign. So even if you're a Cancer sun, you might be a Sagittarius rising. So you need to read the horoscope of Sagittarius and not Cancer. Okay? Aaliyah, I'm not reading charts. I will never, ever, ever, ever read a chart publicly. That is your soul displayed to the world. All my readings with personal clients are always going to be private because I understand the depth of a natal chart, and I would never publicly put your soul on display like that because I respect the privacy that comes from truly knowing a person based off their natal chart. Every Sunday I go live talking about the astro forecast. We're just getting started, so let's go ahead and dive in. So we're looking at Monday here. Thanks for the follow, Roots. We're looking at Monday, and so on Monday we have this square happening to Saturn from Mars. All right. So squares are 90-degree angles. Crazy. We're bringing in math. This is the only math that I actually really like. So when we're looking at what's happening here, this 90-degree angle creates tension between these two planets. Saturn is our planet of discipline and structure, and he's been in Pisces for the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And we've been really, really honing in on our spiritual discipline, like big time, big time, big time, big time. With that being said, Mars is our planet of passion, of desire. It's our masculine power. It is our energy moving forward. And this square is kind of explosive. I'm not going to lie. When planets are creating squares, I like to think of it as like the tectonic plates, how our Earth is made of these different plates. And sometimes they'll rub up against each other and create tension. And what happens with that tension? It has to be released somehow, which the way it's released is usually through like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions or tsunamis, right? There's these waves that happen from the rubbing up against of these energetic edges. So Saturn and Mars here are really, really pressing into each other. At the beginning of this week, we might, and when I'm talking about these transits for my new friends that are joining for the first time, whenever I'm talking about these, it's kind of a buildup, and the time that I'm talking about it is the time that it's making an exact connection. And so that exact connection's when it's going to peak, and then the energy will ebb, okay? So, all right, bye, kitty cat. Hopefully he'll behave himself. I gave him some treats because I didn't want to feed him too early, so fingers crossed. All right, so this square to Saturn is a little bit rebellious. So Saturn in Pisces has been really having us, like I said, hone in on our spiritual discipline. Now Mars is in Sagittarius, which is all about freedom and having truth at any cost. And so this is kind of bringing the idea of personal truth versus universal truth to the question. And it's kind of this idea of like, what is right? This square is going to have you juggling what you think is a universal truth versus a personal truth, because a personal truth may differ from somebody else's personal truth. And that's a very, very powerful thing to contemplate. And I feel this square is really going to have us rubbing up against like maybe potential patterns that we've had in the past of seeking freedom at all costs and maybe ruffling some feathers in the process of that. It's interesting. My entire body language changed as I'm actually really feeling into this energy, and it feels a bit uncomfortable. It feels like this sort of idea that we are moving through a time where the things that we've been working on, I got it. And by the way I read astrology is a little bit left religion, find my truth. Yay! Yes, 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 yes. I love that. And as a ex-Mormon, I left the church when I was 15. So I know we have a pretty deep community here on my page of people who have also left religion. And so it's a very safe space for those of you who are exploring new modalities. And feel free to join my Discord server. It's a beautiful community of people. I've been really promoting it because I really want community selfishly for myself, but you can benefit from it too by joining. What came to mind, so sometimes I get like images in my mind's eye of like how to articulate this, and it's kind of the idea of we've been putting in a lot of work around, when I say spiritual discipline, this is meaning you can't bypass things with fluffy sort of beliefs like, oh, just pray and it'll go away kind of thing. You know, and not that that's wrong, but Saturn in Pisces has been really asking us to do like the hard work of like really seeing things and really understanding our patterns. And it feels like this Mars and Sagittarius on Monday is really like kind of wanting a quick escape of like, well, it's my truth no matter the cost, and not really understanding the bigger repercussion of like personal truth versus this almost like this thing that you've been really, really working on. It's almost like this kind of desire to like run from standing deep in your truths. And I love that your username here is Roots and Rhythms, because I'm really seeing like we've been really, really working on this sort of deep spiritual root system, and this Mars and Sag almost like wants to run at any sort of opportunity that might be out of alignment, where it's like, I'm just going to escape. Mars and Sagittarius tends to be a little flighty. Not in a bad way whatsoever. Whenever I'm talking about these things, it's always from a, you know, non-judgmental energy. This is like the desire to search for freedom no matter the cost. And sometimes that cost is leaving behind things. And so I feel like this Monday's really going to have us questioning like personal truth or universal truth, like these deeper truths that seem to be almost the foundations of our foundations that we've been really working on. We got a Sag rising in the house. Let's go, baby. Yeah. By the way, I am doing a Sagittarius new moon gathering. We're going to be doing vision boards. It's totally free. We're going to hang out. So if you are wanting to, hi, Sarah. Welcome. So it's so funny when I see your profile picture, Sarah, I'm like, he looks so young. Yeah, so if you guys want to join, it's remote. It's just gonna be a fun little hangout because I just want to hang out and do crafts with people. My inner child's really, really craving that right now. So if you're feeling that too, come join. Coming from the For You page, saw 8th house Mercury. Yes. Okay. Thanks for the follow. I tend to collect the 8th house Mercuries, or people that have water Mercuries. You know, it's just a vibe. Halloween 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I love it. So yeah, Mondays, we're starting off the week with a little bit of like, it kind of feels like a shakedown of where we want to run from discipline versus like really, I almost feel like this Mars and Sag is kind of like our inner teenager that kind of wants to rebel a bit. It's kind of like, I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to do the work. I just want to like go and like, this is my truth right now, instead of this stuff that we've been really working on the past 2.5 years of like real deep spiritual evolution, right? So it's going to be that kind of, and neither of them are right or wrong. The tension that happens with squares reveals more to us. Ooh. 8th house with your South Node. Ooh. So on Tuesday, the 9th, we don't have anything specifically happening as far as planet wise. And by the way, for those of you who, if it's your first time here, if you can't stay for the whole live, it's totally okay. I re-upload this to my YouTube, which is Astramia. It's all linked in my bio. And I also take everything I say here. I have a newsletter. It's called Letters from the Eighth House. It's where every Monday I send out an email with all these transits written out. So you have like a little, it's kind of like a roadmap for the week, you know, or like, you know, how you look at your weather app, you know, it's kind of like that for the energy. So if you want to subscribe, it's linked in the bio also. So after I do this, I sit and write it out after everything I've channeled. Your daughter's birthday's the 9th. Aw. Yay! Happy birthday! Okay, on Wednesday the 10th, let's go ahead and jump ahead. We're going to go ahead and go days, because on Wednesday the 10th, we have something amazing happening, which is Neptune is direct. And I just got like brain tingles as I said that. Some brain tingles. That for me is like confirmation from spirit when I'm doing these things. So, guys, Neptune has been retrograde since late summer and is now direct. It's at the 29th degree of Pisces, which is like, it's a lot. The freaking rose-colored glasses and the like dissolving. It's such an interesting dichotomy that we've been having with Saturn and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces, and the fact that they've crossed over into Aries over the summer and now they're back in Pisces. And it's kind of like this freaking, it's like we're hanging out in the birth canal. Like we're in the canal and then it's almost like, oh, going back up. Oh, you're birthing. Oh, nope. And so it's been really intense. It's a lot. It's like, yeah. Oh, sitting on your north node. Oh, bless your heart. I went through that. Well, I actually went through it going over my south node. That was tough. Yeah. Hanging out in the canal is crazy work. Oh my God. Oh, guys. I love my comments. This is like, but I've been taught, it feels really intense because it's like we're really, really wrapping up these final lessons of Neptune and Pisces, which has been really expanding our gifts. Like the amount of people that have been waking up since Neptune and Saturn were conjunct in Pisces, like insane work. Like it's been very, very interesting. Domain expansion. Yes. Yeah. So Pisces, for those of you who are joining for the first time, Pisces is the last sign. It's the last sign, and I'm getting so many chills. 29 degrees is the last degrees. We have Neptune at the final degrees of Pisces until the end of January 2026. So there's a lot that's like culminating with this. Neptune is like the mystics planet. It is the higher evolution of love, unconditional love. Now with unconditional love, there's a lot of lines that can be blurred there. That's where Saturn and Pisces has been coming in. And it's almost as though like Neptune's been expanding us while Saturn has been building the foundation to support that expansion. Like it's, yeah, I love what you said, Brasilia. Why do I always say your username wrong? And you spell it out for me. I'm dyslexic. Brasilerio. Yep. Okay. It's like every time you spell it out for me, I still mess it up. I overthink it. Domain expansion is 100% the words for it. So it's like, we seriously are like building Brasilerio. Oh, bless. You've got Neptune conjunct your sun. Oh my gosh. I actually had a client the other day who had some... Are you in here? Yes, you are. Hi. Hi, honey. That has that. There's only one eye. No, there's two eyes. There's eye in the middle and eye at the end. 15 years. Amazing. Not Lario. I'm so excited for those of you who are watching the stream recap on YouTube. This is entertaining. You have Neptune conjunct your North Node in the second house. Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, Neptune is a very, very powerful planet. Very dissolving. Thanks for the follow. Let's go. Yay, welcome. By the way, guys, I'm also live on Twitch, but I have to be careful saying that out loud because TikTok gets mad. Don't get it. It won't promote my stuff to the For You page. So I feel like this Neptune moving direct, it's very interesting because it moves direct on Wednesday, and then we have a couple of aspects that it makes that kind of allow more clarity. Yeah, no, TikTok is so lame about that. But I feel like with Neptune going direct here in Pisces, from now, so from this Wednesday, the 10th, until the end of January, we have this moment of like final expansion when it comes to, I heard like expansion pack, like when it comes to our spiritual gifts and really, really laying the foundation for the years to come. Because for those of you who don't know, 2026 is a massive year. We have all of our outer planets moving into new signs and like staying there. We got a taste of it this summer, which was intense. So whatever happened this summer, guys, yeah, I'm giving you chills. Yeah. Yeah. So it's intense. So there's a lot that's going on. Hi, Amanda. Yeah, the grand water trine happening today. Specifically when you guys, like right now as I'm live, if you're watching the recap, it'll already be over. But this grand water trine that's happening today, I wrote about it on my newsletter and talked about it last week, but it's pretty intense. And it's the second time we're having it, but now all the planets are direct minus Jupiter. Jupiter is still retrograde. So there was a little bit interesting flavor. Domain expansion, Capricorn stellium, Saturn return. Let's go. Any Saturn in Aries babies? Thanks for the likes, guys. Okay, so Neptune goes direct. Again, this is really expanding it finally feels like all the gifts that we've been working on the internal level with this retrograde are now going to be seen outside of ourselves, meaning like perceiving almost like I almost see it's like Spirit just showed me like curtains opening, or like, you know, the like pulling something that's covered off of something, like just revealing more. So Scorpio rising, Venus in Cancer, Mars in Cancer. Yeah, you've been emotional. Bless your heart. So later in the day on Wednesday, we have a similar aspect. And like I said at the beginning of this stream, is we're going to be really witnessing a lot of aspects that we've already witnessed. And for those of you who joined my Mercury retrograde masterclass, you guys already had the heads up for this because I talked about this during that masterclass. Welcome, Marked by Light. Okay, so on the 10th, later in the afternoon, we have Uranus at 28 degrees and Mercury is hanging out at 28 degrees of Scorpio, making this opposition again. Now, the difference is Mercury's direct again. So this is going to bring echoes from our new moon in Scorpio that happened 2 weeks ago. Because this transit happened at the time of that new moon. That new moon was insane. Our Scorpio new moon that we had, it was I can't even, the words, when I was sitting with the energy, I was like, oh my God, like this is so insane. So we're going to tap back into that energy, but with a clear mind. Whatever was in that introspection, whatever was happening on that deep, deep level, there is going to be a little bit more. I heard like a revelation. Yeah, it was so intense. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say hi over on my astrology account over here. For those of you who are new here, this account that I'm on presently, I do channeled messages that weave in astrology, but mostly just channeling. But this account that that just said hi, that is where I post like just strictly astrology content. So if you're interested in anything that I share over there, my right ear is ringing. Okay. Diving back into this. So Mercury, opposing Uranus, there is lightning clarity to this. There is some like tension that happens with these oppositions. 180 degrees is this clash. I heard like the clash of the Titans. Mercury's not going to win this battle, but Mercury has been cultivating a lot of information, has been going to the depths of our psyche to pull things out. And Uranus and Taurus, having moved back into Taurus, the last final degrees of Taurus with this retrograde, is kind of excavating these last little limiting things around our beliefs, around our values, around the things that we cling to. Both Scorpio and Taurus are very, very possessive. That's the similarity that they hold. And there's almost the thing about Scorpio is it clings, and Taurus is always has an open hand wanting more. How would you know what house you're in? You are not in a house. You are all the houses, my sweet friend. So everybody has all 12 houses within their chart. Yeah, this is just a snapshot of the sky that we're looking at. You have your own unique one. It's your natal chart. And just depending on your own natal chart, you'll have the planets in different spots. If you're interested, if anybody here is interested in a personal reading, all of those are linked in my bio. It's an hour and a half of a deep dive soul carving open. I don't go easy. I'm an 8th house Mercury. I'm here to show you and reveal you your depth. Where's Lilith on this chart? Lilith is hanging out right here in Scorpio still. She'll be moving into Sagittarius on the 19th. Anyways, so this opposition with this Mercury happening here, it's bringing things up, but it's almost as though you have more clarity on the direction to take with whatever is being revealed and illuminated again. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, you're totally fine. Is there anything in the way? It's right here. Here's Lilith. It's a little moon. It's like Venus, but if she was shaped by the moon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forget. Yeah, you can't see my mouse on your guys' end. My bad. I'm dual streaming on Twitch also, so they can see my mouse. No, you're totally fine. We're jumping back in. Yeah, Lilith had a fun time with Mercury a couple days ago. So this, again, I'm bringing in the new moon that we had because the Mercury hanging out here again, this is really, really bringing in that sort of a deeper clarity and almost forward movement on whatever was illuminated here. It's like you can actually speak these things outwards because that new moon was really deeply revealing of the layers of our psyche that's like holding us back. And so it almost seems like there's a lot more freedom to say what's on your mind. And Uranus almost feels like an outside force, an outside influence that is like really challenging us to speak our minds, speak our truth, no matter the cost. Beautiful. Okay, now jumping to the 11th, early in the morning, let's go ahead and jump a day. Boom. On the 11th, Mercury already jumped into Sag, but we're going to go back a couple hours. Come here. We're going to go back a couple hours. Let's go to, it's actually technically at like 2 a.m. Pacific time. Mercury's at that 29 degrees, now making a trine to Neptune. Guys, this is very, very interesting energy. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know. My deepest desire is that you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about, but I dive deeper when I'm reading personal charts, and additionally, I'm in the process of creating courses for 2026. So if you're interested, make sure you're signed up to my newsletter because I'm promoting it over there. Okay, so what's very interesting about this trine happening here, trine is 160 degrees, 120, right? I don't know why trines and the number with a trine always has me second guessing myself. It's so freaking funny. Yeah, 120. Anyways, that's so entertaining. So it's not like I've been doing this for 11 years. So this trine is very, very supportive energy. But what's really interesting about this trine this time, because we experienced it a couple weeks ago and a couple weeks before that, because Mercury's been doing this dance back and forth with the retrograde, is now Neptune's direct. So there's like open, this for me feels psychic as shit. Pay attention to your dreams. Final degrees of Scorpio and Pisces happening here. This is like deep insights that are revealed on the emotional level. This can be through dreams. This can be through in-depth conversation, meditation. There is clarity of mind coming here. And it almost feels like the rose-colored glasses are coming off a bit as far as the internal landscape you've been navigating the past couple weeks with these retrogrades. So Mercury is bringing and bridging communication from the spiritual realm and is about to move over into Sagittarius. Okay. So it's like grabbing this information, this insight that Neptune has been cultivating at the final degree and being able to deliver it. And as no, we're not in a retrograde. We're in a post-shadow period. So Mercury was retrograde earlier November, went direct. And so when Mercury stations direct, it has to move forward on the path that it was retrograde on. So when I'm talking about we've been through these transits, it's because we've been through it because Mercury was retrograde and now is walking the path forward and touching back into this energy again, but with a new, clear, fresh mind. No, do not apologize for asking questions, please. All questions are allowed here because I really want you to understand what I'm talking about. So now you do. And if you're like, girl, I have no idea what you're talking about, ask. My background is in education. I've worked in education for 10 years. I teach all different levels, mostly teenagers, and they ask the greatest questions. By that, I mean, they're freaking weird. So please ask. Okay, so this, you know nothing. That's okay. You're listening and you're absorbing, and maybe a part of your subconscious mind is picking up some of these things. This is years and years of practice that I've had, and it's only been this year that I've fully dedicated my time to doing this. Dre, how do you start learning about your chart? Great question. So there's a couple websites that you can like look at. AstroSeek, Astro Cafe. My favorite app is Time Passages. They have a free version and of course a paid version, as most apps do nowadays. You can look at your chart on Time Passages and start diving in. Initiative readings. Yeah, I do also do readings. So if you're interested in your natal chart being read, the best way to learn about your chart is to have a professional astrologer read it. I had my first reading when I was 15 and it changed my life, and now I'm an astrologer. That's how life-changing it was for me. But for people that meet with me, I dive a lot deeper than I feel most traditional mainstream astrologers do. I go really, really deep into understanding how you operate, how to best utilize the energy within your chart, how to know yourself, and grow and evolve into some of these placements and the depth that they have to offer. So if you want to do simple research, my homework for you, Dre, is to figure out your rising sign, which means you need to find your time of birth. And that's always the thing that stumps a lot of people. Yes. Oh my gosh, Callie, it was so freaking amazing reading for you. Like, yeah. Yeah, dude. It was... I think you popped out of the live stream for a second. But I was like, oh my God, your chart is freaking phenomenal. And I won't share anything about it, but I nerded out on the gift of getting to read for you. That was so fun. What's my moon sign? Take a guess. I like when people try to guess my signs. No wrong answers. Well, except there's only one right answer, which is my moon sign. So I think it's very telling what my moon sign is. Dude. Yeah. No, literally. And I was, after your reading, Callie, I was like, I'm not a traditional astrologer at all. at all. Leo moon? No, dude, thank you. I'm a Taurus sun, so you got Taurus right. But my moon is the opposite of Leo. I'm an Aquarius moon. Yeah. Can I read you? I will never read somebody publicly. You're a Taurus sun too. Let's fucking go. I will never read anybody's chart publicly because, as Callie can attest to, and a couple other people who are hanging out in here, reading your chart publicly, it would be like me ripping your soul open and letting everybody watch. And I will never do that to anybody. That is way too intimate. What I do in readings is way too intimate for a public audience. Now, if we did a fun stream where I like roasted you based off of your chart, could be a whole different thing. I do like having fun like that, but so if you go to the link in my bio to my site, my readings right now are on sale until the end of this year. I'm keeping my sale prices up right now because I'm just feeling that. So I was like, okay, cool. So if you're interested, you can check out there. Yeah, oh my god, Callie. You're so sweet. You are so sweet. My heart. This is why I do what I do. Yeah, I love it. Like, truly, it's such a gift. I remember when I had my first reading, it was like, how could somebody see me so completely and have no context? And I also did a chart reading for somebody this week that doesn't know me through the internet. She found me through my nail tech, and she was like, I don't think she knew what she was signing up for. I think it was maybe she had an idea of like mainstream astrology, and I'm not a mainstream astrologer whatsoever. So she was like, oh, but luckily she could handle my truth and sharing that truth. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about what is going on this week. So later in the day, if you keep an eye on Mercury, Mercury is this guy down here. This is Mercury, so watch him. Watch him. Technically, Mercury is gender neutral, actually. He is the sacred hermaphrodite when it comes to astrology. He's the only planet that has the ability to move between realms. That's why he's the messenger. So if we're watching Mercury, oh my gosh, this is going to take way too long. So around like 4 p.m., he moves into Sagittarius, maybe. Oh my gosh, it did a.m., guys. I'm going to cry. p.m. You guys saw me write that P. I know you did. Oh my gosh. It's being so mean. p.m. There we go. Holy cow, we made it. So Mercury moves into Sagittarius. Now, we felt Mercury in Sag a couple weeks ago, almost at the beginning of November. So as Mercury emerges from the underworld, from the depths of our inner being, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. Mercury has been drowning in Scorpio. In a good way, it's been like very cleansing. But as Mercury moves and shifts into Sagittarius, there's a lightness here. There is a sort of freedom that comes through with this. And I've talked a lot about Sagittarius as we have 4 planets in Sagittarius here. We have Mars, we have the Sun, we have Venus, and now we have Mercury, all in Sagittarius. So let's give Sagittarius energy a moment here. So the thing about Sagittarius, on a surface level, most people talk about Sagittarius being like, they're not very serious. They just do things, and they're just fiery, and they're funny, and they run around, and yeah. And I say this as my Sagittarius brother is hanging out here. Hey, bud. Which is so true. They're so fucking funny. Like, Sagittariuses are so hilarious. But the thing is, probably the part Sag probably wouldn't want me to reveal about them, we're going to reveal, because Sagittarius is more than just this, magical fire sign that burns. Yeah, exactly. We hide the pain. He said it in our laughter. Yep, I didn't even need to say it. So the thing about Sagittarius is it's actually technically the constellation of Sagittarius. There's Chiron in there, and Chiron is the wounded healer. And the thing is, Chiron has learned, because he understands the pain of Scorpio. He understands the pain of the depth of feeling everything, right? There is this sort of realization of like, that is what it means to be a mortal human, right? We have pain. And to live means that we have the duality of pain. To have joy, we have to have suffering. To have good, we have to have bad. And that's a thing Sagittarius understands deeply. But they choose not to dwell on the darkness. They choose to see it and be like, this is what I have to live with. And if this is what I have to live with, then that's what I have to live with. I'm still going to have fun. I'm still going to find joy. I'm still going to seek the next horizon, and still, I've never felt more seen in my life. I love you. I need to actually do a chart reading for you. Like, actually, birthday present. I'll send you a little thing. Because I've actually never read my brother's chart to him. I know it by heart because I'm the astrologer of the family, but you guys should give my brother a follow, by the way. He goes live and plays some sick DJ sets here on TikTok. So if you're ever looking for some solid music, he's your guy. So that's the thing, is now Mercury has been in the fucking depths and crawls. And the thing that bridges Sagittarius and Scorpio. Yeah, boy. Sorry to jump scare anybody if that jump scared you. I like to be funny too. All my humor is thanks to my brother, so everybody give him a solid shout out, because without him I wouldn't be funny. But the thing that bridges Scorpio and Sagittarius is humor. Is understanding that, like, don't take life too serious. Scorpio looks at Sagittarius and is like, why aren't you taking life seriously enough? And Sagittarius looks at Scorpio and is like, bro, it's not that fucking serious. So there's this sort of like duality that's happening here. So as Mercury emerges and moves into Sagittarius, it's almost as though we're surfacing from the depths of our inner world. We can breathe again. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm getting chills. And that was what my last newsletter was really coined on. It was the light at the end of the tunnel, of like emerging from the depths of ourselves and really seeing the goals. And it's so wild that we're nearing the new year with all this Sagittarius energy moving into Capricorn energy, which we'll touch on later. It really is us choosing to see the end goal, to see like the ultimate destiny, and to go for it, right? If you weren't a traditional astrologer, I wouldn't be here. No, for real. Traditional astrologers piss me off. They're always like, there's one guy I do not like here on TikTok, and he just fear mongers people with astrology to make money. Like, come on. Low vibrational shit. Anyways, so Mercs and Sag, definitely will book a reading. Gotta find the exact time though. Yes. So you need to find your exact time. So if that means you digging up your birth certificate, if that means you calling your mom, you need it. I will not read your chart if you don't have your time of birth. And it's because I don't want to give you a reading that is not accurate. And I can't do that unless I have your time of birth, which is a hard thing to say, to be like, to turn down somebody, but it's like, I would be doing you a disservice as an astrologer, which would suck. And yeah, I had that happen like a couple weeks ago. I had to change my policy on my thing because I felt like it was a normal thing. Like everybody should know that, but some people don't. So it's now on my site. You have to have your time of birth. Otherwise, don't get a reading from me. So let's take a peek at the rest of the week. Thank you guys for hanging out and liking the live and sharing it. It gets my content out to people who might also enjoy this kind of stuff. So if your friends that are on your TikTok enjoy astrology stuff, they might enjoy what we're talking about here. So nothing happening exactly on Friday, but on Saturday the 13th, let's go ahead and jump ahead to the 13th. Boop. Clear this. On the 13th, Mercury is now at 2 degrees of Sagittarius. Mercury is moving quick, guys. Mercury's sprinting, going quick. Mercury is making a sextile to Pluto. And Pluto's kind of been like initiating all the planets as they've moved into Sagittarius. So Venus went through this, the sun went through this, Mars went through this, like as they entered. It's almost like this. I've been imagining not Scorpio, but Pluto is a scorpionic planet. Pluto has been initiating them. By fast, I mean moving like a degree a day, which is pretty fast. And then eventually Mercury will pick up pace and be moving like 2 degrees through each day, which is wild. That's quick. So it's been interesting. I've been witnessing Pluto as this sort of initiatory. Has anybody here read The Alchemist? This is how I wrote about him in my newsletter last week is in The Alchemist, the protagonist, Santiago, he meets this old king, and this old king kind of talks in riddles, but he gifts him these stones, and Ermin and I can't ever say them right because I read it in my mind. I didn't actually read it out loud. Ermin and Thierman. I can't pronounce it, but they are these stones of like direction, right? They're divination tools. And it seems like Pluto, each time these planets have been moving into Sag, he's been like gifting these planets sort of extra boost, like cheering on the underdog kind of energy, because Pluto in Aquarius is kind of big underdog energy, like calling out, like wanting the outcasts to win at all costs. So authenticity above anything else has been what's super, super important. Yeah, Uman and Thuman. Yeah, I think I pronounced that right. Yeah. If you're on my Discord server, we actually have an emoji dedicated to them when he gets the stones. Because we read The Alchemist. By the way, my Discord community, we have a book club. We meet every Tuesday, so if you're interested, come join. This sextile to Pluto is very supportive. It's sort of like this, I keep thinking of like the Sandlot for whatever reason, where it's kind of like this underdog energy that Pluto is supporting and is giving sort of a boost to Mercury. And it feels just supportive towards communication because Mercury's direct. You know, it's going to feel harmonious with Pluto, and it's going to be driving that sort of depth of transformation in that Aquarian energy. With Pluto here, it's been really asking for authenticity. Boost. Rocket League reference. Blah. So this is really, really fun energy that is happening here. And it's been fun to witness the feeling of all of these planets moving through Sag, get this sort of energy, this little boost from Pluto. But it only seems like a 20 boost. What are they, 20 boosts or 20? Like it's the power is only 20, not 100, like not a full boost, but a small little, just a little bit. Maybe it's like one shot of espresso versus a double. 10. Okay, see, I don't know. I can't remember Rocket League stuff. For those of you who are hanging out here, I used to work in esports, so it's a weird past. Okay, our final day of the week. Sunday. Holy cow. Just a quick vibe check. How's everybody feeling? Oh. Okay, so on Sunday, the 14th, we have some stuff happening early morning. The first thing is that Mars is... Oh, and then... Good, yay. I love it. I feel like people are just... You guys got me propped up. I'm like your little podcast. Freaking love it. Favorite. So, first things first is Mars is making a square now to Neptune. So we started off the week with a Mars square. We're ending the week with a Mars square. Kind of feels like full circle a little bit. Always around dinner time. Yay, Amanda. So again, if you're just joining me as we're getting to the end of the week, everything I've shared, this is recorded. I'm going to be re-uploading it to YouTube. So if you're interested in hearing or playing it throughout the week, it'll be there on YouTube. And additionally, my newsletter, I'll have it all written out. So if you're not subscribed there yet, subscribe. So these squares, man, these squares with Mars here. Mars is freaking angsty teen energy, I'm not gonna lie. And now this square to Neptune is really bringing in that energy we had with Saturn at the start of the week, where it's sort of this universal truth versus personal truth. But now Mars is at the tail end degree of Sagittarius at 29 degrees. So this is a mastery degree. This is the point of culmination for the Sagittarius energy, which is actually deeply, deeply wise, has been through experience, has lived experience. And that's the thing that's very interesting here, because it's lived experience versus maybe past life experience or psychic experience, which when we think of psychic experience, we could think of like, that's like time bending, quantum realms, these sort of experiences that are unexplainable and not physically like happening. It's more in this ethereal, I'm thinking of like quantum physics, which bear with me. I know I'm kind of getting a little quantum there. Emma, welcome. So there's this like, God, this feels like this argument of somebody who's been through some really, really, it feels very, very internal, this sort of frustration. Okay, they showed me like an archetype, and some of you guys might, yeah, everything everywhere all at once. Yes, it's a very interesting, because they gave me a tangible application to this, and I feel like most of us have been through something like this where usually in our younger 20s, we think we know everything, right? We're at that third Saturn square, and if you haven't had a reading with me yet, you won't understand what I'm talking about here. But it's like we think we're adults, but we're not really adults yet. You're not really an adult until you've made it through your Saturn return. Short break. Yay! Tell me your favorite thing at work right now as far as food. I know you know the good foods. So it feels like this Mars and Sagittarius is like, it's like arguing with your grandparents, where your grandparents have been through a lot, and then it's almost like a grandparent that is literally on the threshold of death, right? And they're literally like, you don't understand, like none of this is that serious. And this Mars and Sag is like, you don't understand how everything I've been through and all the work that I've put in and all this, like, and it's like, and for what, right? Probably the chicken soup dumplings. That sounds really good, actually. I love dumplings. So this square, it's pretty agitating, right? Because Mars is our energy, it's frustration. And squares, it's like, how is this tension going to release? This square is kind of deepening our dreams and psychic connection. So there might be frustrations with tangible reality, Mars and direction, like really like you've been like trying to follow. Because the thing about Sagittarius is it's like this mission. It's like this like spiritual mission of the guru, of like really going for your depths. And like, how do I fucking word this? I'm feeling frustrated because I'm like, how do I say this? It's like you're on a pilgrimage. Or like studying to be like a monk energy. Like that's how Sagittarius energy. It's like dedicated discipline to nirvana, to this bigger enlightenment. And it's very freaking entertaining because with Neptune on the edge of the threshold before Aries is basically like, it's kind of like the meme of the astronaut. Let me see if I can find it so you guys understand. It's, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this one, but it's kind of this. It's like this vibe. Oh, not the Ohio part, but just like the blank one where it's always been you, like you looking at you, looking at you. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but basically what I'm trying to say here, always has been, is it's like, wait, bye Emma, thanks for hanging out. It's kind of like this feeling of like, was it where the Ohio part for me? That was meant for you? Okay, let's go. Is that where the lady friend is from? Okay. You don't have to answer that. Anyways, it's like the truth about spirituality is it's lived experience. Like literally Neptune is saying to Mars, like, all the work that you've put in, that was the spiritual journey. It's not about getting to the destination. And the thing is, like, Sagittarius really wants to get to the destination. Is this for 2026? No, we're talking about the week ahead. No, good question. So every Sunday I go live and I talk about the week ahead. I don't like to go too far ahead because I feel like I can get people a little bit too focused on the future instead of just like staying in this pocket of now. But I will be doing some 2026 stuff on my newsletter and talking about that. But no, that's a great question. So we're looking at Sunday, and you can kind of see it here on the screen. We're looking at this Sunday. So this is very wild energy that's happening. And while this is happening, while this square from Saturn to Mars is happening, we have a square to Neptune, Mars to Neptune. We have a trine happening with the sun to Chiron. Technically, this is at 23, but it'll be at 22. And it will be making a trine to Chiron. And Mars went through this already earlier this week. There was this. So this trine is very supportive energy. Now our ego's involved in this trine. And I say ego in a good way. The ego is important. If we didn't have an ego. Oh, thanks for the follow, Luna. I need to like not have that sound anymore because it jump scares me and it's so freaking funny. Welcome, Earth Angel. So our ego expression is our sun sign. It's a part of us that wants to express. We have to have an ego. And if we don't have an ego, then we're not human. Just saying. Having a healthy ego is one thing though. We don't want to have an unhealthy ego. Gotta scrub it clean. This trine that's happening on Sunday to Chiron with the sun is again, it's like bringing in our, it's like settling our ego into this sort of understanding that Mars went through this week to bring it home a little bit. And by the way, all these, Sagittarius planets are going to be making this trine to Chiron through the rest of this month. So this is going to be a familiar feeling. And this familiar feeling is right now Chiron is in Aries retrograde and it's been in Aries for a bit. I'm not going to lie. Been here hanging out for a while. And Chiron and Aries as a collective has been having us hone in on our identity wound. On like, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I even when I do it? And so these trines that are happening here that are activating it even more so are really, really pulling us into this sort of understanding that you don't have to be fully complete to take action. It's kind of like this idea that you have to be fully prepared or certified or have to have the credentials to do something. Now this trine is like really saying like, it's okay to take action and not fully be prepared, right? Like I'm going to share like a tangible action today. I went on a walk that was like very spur of the moment. I was like, I'm just going to go for a walk. I walked outside to go grab something and suddenly I was hiking up the hill on the property that I'm on. And on the hike, I found a tree and I was like, my inner child was like, I really want to climb this tree. But there was a part of me that's like, I can't climb the tree. I'm not wearing the right shoes. I don't have all, and it's kind of like, dude, I just took my shoes off, barefoot, climbed up that tree. It's this idea like you have to be like fully prepared and have to know what you're doing. And this trine here saying like, no, like I'm still going to take action whether I feel fully prepared or not. That it doesn't define me that I don't have these credentials or don't have this sort of solid ground of to prove yourself to other people that you're worthy of what you're doing. Right? I know a lot of us have been feeling this energy pretty strongly collectively. So that trine's happening on Sunday as well. But it is really, really supportive energy. Like I really, really love this. You know, it's our self-expression, the sun. It's flowing with our relation to our strength of vulnerability, right? like saying like, yeah, I don't feel fully ready for this, but I'm gonna try. And so it's gonna feel vulnerable, but it's also kind of really rewarding at the same time. Like letting yourself be seen in your pain and then seeing the response that like it wasn't even like that scary. So now later in the evening on Sunday, and for some of you, if you're like on the East Coast, this will probably be Monday morning, but I'm gonna talk about it now. As Mars is going to be moving into Capricorn. Let's fucking go. So we can see Mars moves into Capricorn. Technically, let me look at the time here. At 11:34 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, literally right almost to Monday, but I'm going to talk about it because I think it's going to just kind of set us up for the week, and just have that knowledge. I'll probably tap a little bit deeper into it even the following week. Now, Mars is our will, our drive to get shit done. And Capricorn's all about getting it done, right? So this is our physical energy, our vitality, our desire to really take tangible action is moving into the sign. This is the final Earth sign. And the thing about Capricorn is, and my Capricorn queens hanging out here, Capricorn energy is really described very masculinely in traditional astrology. And that's because traditional astrology was by men for men, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. So Capricorn is a feminine sign. It is the crone energy. It's wise woman, old energy. And it's kind of like, I just saw like a coven of witches. That is Capricorn energy. Like the sort of upper matriarchs that hold society together. Without the grandmas, we'd be fucked. Just saying. So with Mars moving here, this is like a really, really powerful direction forward. We're just old ladies. Just old ladies. Dude, you piss an old lady off, she'll put way too much spice in your soup, man, and that sucks. She'll be feeling that for days in your intestines. You know? They have those sneaky Capricorns. Dude, there's nothing worse than like an old grandma not liking you. It's like, what did I do wrong, you know? This is like, I'm so excited for 2026 because we're starting off the year with so much Capricorn energy and it's so delicious. So Mars is just setting the tone for that, of us really taking like methodical action. The thing is, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and this is like starting new projects. There's going to be a deeper sense of inspiration and desire to put the energy forward. That's why we're the goat. So Capricorn is technically the sea goat. They traverse land and sea. Y'all are like four-wheel drive. It's like chitty chitty bang bang, how you can fly and go on water and then go on the roads. Like y'all are like multifaceted. Like anything. It's so cool. So our drive is going to be like really, really focused in this area of like taking forward movement, of taking action on the things that have been kind of on the back burner. And like this really feels like such good energy to like kind of start wrapping up final projects for the end of the year, to get your Christmas shopping done, to like really like do the tasks that have been put off, because the Sag energy was really fun, but it was really for like searching for personal freedom and personal truth. And now Capricorn's like, cool, we found it. Now we have to ground it. Now we have to like bring it into form. It's like when, and this is the way the signs work, through fire to water. You know, we think of the thought, that's that inspiration, the passion. We bring it into the earth, we cultivate it, it moves into air, so we breathe life into it, and then it moves into water, which then dissolves it so it can shift form. So it's really, really beautiful. So we're in the like bringing it into form energy. So y'all, start your workout plans before Christmas. Why not? Like put those solid things in place. This Capricorn energy is going to be pretty badass for like just really settling in. And like I keep just seeing like putting I was going to say it's rebar, but I almost said rhubarb. So rhubarb might be significant for somebody, but like rebar, like to like structure things, and like add more security to the foundation you've already been working on. So yeah, damn, this is quite the week that we have here. So let's jump back here. So again, I'm gonna, if my thing's gonna work, there. I wanted to turn my chat off for a second over here on the Tiki Talk. So for the week ahead, as we're moving forward, just a quick recap again. On Monday, the 8th, Mars is going to be making a square to Saturn. On Wednesday, the 10th, Neptune stations direct. Then Mercury opposes Uranus. On the 11th, Mercury makes a trine to Neptune, and then Mercury moves into Sagittarius. On the 13th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. And then on the 14th, Sunday, Mars makes a square to Neptune. The Sun trines Chiron, and then late in the evening, almost in the morning for some of y'all on that Monday the 15th, Mars moves into Capricorn. Okay,